In this one we talk about a letter from the chairman and what CIG's main objective is coming into 2023. Hello and welcome to From the Verse. I'm Drake, and in these ones I give you, the glorious citizen that you are, a quick recap on some news coming for Star Citizen. So it's now 2023 and nearly a whole year has passed since I started this YouTube stuff. Happy New Year, by the way. So thank you for all the support. If you do like what I'm throwing out there, then please spread me around like an STD in a college dorm room, and I'd be forever in your debt. The challenge for myself this year is to hopefully get this channel to that magical 1,000 subscribers, and if you can help with that in any way, shape or form, then this thanks goes out to you. So now the shameless plug is out the way, let's have a look at what's coming for Star Citizen in 2023. So recently we got a letter from the chairman, who of course is Chris Roberts. Now in the past these are letters that touch on stuff that's happened, stuff they are working on, and stuff they want to do. It's a rather large letter this year, so let's see what Mr. Roberts had to say. First off, he started with thanking the community and how this couldn't be achieved without us. This is obviously correct because we are the ones throwing cash at the game like a virgin at a strip club. Chris says that without us and the funding model that they currently have, that any other dev wouldn't be able to attempt a game of this scale. And I do see where he's coming from, but it's also very frustrating for us as the players, as the ones who are bought into it, when small things take years to come to fruition, such as the move all button in the inventory that took way too long to come out, and it's still not even out on live yet, it's just PTU. He then went on to talk about persistent entity streaming, which is of course the new server persistence, which allows items, debris, bodies and even ships to stay exactly where they are when you leave a server, which is a huge feat on something as big as Star Citizen's universe. As I mentioned earlier regarding us as the backers, CIG made a ton of cash with more unique players and new accounts being created, as you can see here. And remember that not all of this new money is going into Star Citizen. Squadron 42 is still a main focus for CIG, and unfortunately we haven't seen much of it for a long ass time now. I'm hoping 2023 will be where we see more of Squadron 42's development, as much of the mechanics of Squadron 42 will obviously be crossed over into the persistent universe. So the quicker they get Squadron 42 done, the quicker the main focus will become on the PU. There's a ton more that Chris talks about here, such as the new racetrack, server meshing and even pyro, but it's all talk and no action from our point of view, as it will be a long ass time before we see any of the good stuff come into the live servers. And he finishes off his letter with this: the universe and how you interact with it is up to you, from exploring to hauling, trading, mining, salvage, refueling, refining, bounty hunting, piracy, to being a hired gun, to just sightseeing and being a social butterfly. All that is just what we have now. In the future, you'll be able to farm or gather other resources, build, craft and sell. The universe of Star Citizen is a huge sandbox for everyone to play in, and I couldn't be more excited by what the future holds. Star Citizen is more than just a game. It is an escape to another reality where anyone can pursue their imagination, not bound to a single playstyle or profession, where they can interact with other players that share in the same common dream. I feel incredibly lucky and privileged to have the opportunity to pursue this dream with the amazingly talented team at Cloud Imperium and the support and patience of the best community in gaming, the Star Citizen community. From all of us at Cloud Imperium, we wish you all a happy new year and can't wait to continue the journey with you in 2023. Now, he mentions farming and crafting in this, but don't expect to see that until I'm much fatter and have a lot less hair. So don't hold your breath for these features, because it is CIG at the end of the day. The focus right now at the start of 2023 for CIG is of course that 3.18 patch that's currently being tested. It has its issues. Personally, I've had a bit of a nightmare myself, but the focus is to stabilize it and get it out to the live servers when they can. So PES, as I mentioned earlier, is the ability to have item, ships and bodies persist in the verse. Even when you log off and log back in, those items will still be there. However, there's no way to select a server currently, and therefore to get the same shard as you logged off in, it's potluck. This is obviously an issue, and it seems that CIG are currently looking at working on, because this is what they said. The first order of business is to continue to stabilize Alpha 3.18 so we can release to the live servers in January, once the team is back from their well-earned holiday break. Then we will continue to harden PES, improving aspects and adding some additional quality of life features, including the ability to choose which PES shard you would like to join. The current game server PES shard matchmaking, that's a mouthful, tries to match you to the last PES shard you were in when you log back in or recover from a crash, but if that shard is full, it places you in a different one. But in the short term, before server meshing makes this not so necessary, we also want to give players the choice to wait in a queue for their preferred shard if it is full. The next step will be to separate the replication layer, the in-memory cache that remembers all dynamic object state, from the game's server, and have scalable RL, replication layers, workers that communicate the state changes between the various game clients, servers, and the RL. Now this would be the way to move forward with PES and eventually be able to see what PES has to offer. You can essentially have a home shard, a home server that you can play on that things will persist in, which would be great. But believe it when you see it. As we all know, CIG and timekeeping are two things that aren't often seen in the same sentence. Let's just say, nice one, it sounds good, and then forget about it. And we'll just be happily surprised when it eventually arrives. Next up, we got the quick bits, the tasty little high-calorie news pieces that you can't put down. Let's talk about the narrative team. It sounds boring, I know, but Star Citizen's narrative team are going to be focused on content for Star Citizen and, of course, Squadron 42. Which will allow NPC dialogue, mission text, which will include support for narrative-heavy investigation missions, item descriptions, and a whole lot more. This is great news because it enables the game to have a wider variety of missions and a sense that the verse is more lived in, with things happening in the background that we can then stumble upon. Vulkan integration should be coming this year, along with the Gen 12 renderer, and what this enables is more optimization. Vulkan is a very efficient graphic API, so we are hoping that we get more graphical options, more fidelity, along with smoother gameplay and better frame rates. Hopefully. This should also hopefully allow people with lower end specs on their system to not struggle as much with the game, so this looks like it should be a win-win for everyone, and hopefully optimizes the game to a place where work can become easier for CIG, meaning we get content a tad quicker. And animation improvements are apparently being worked on as well. A rework of what we have and some new ones to tie in to upcoming gameplay loops, but I'm assuming that's on the back burner with a lot of other things, so don't expect to see anything new for a long old time. And that's it from the Verse this week. I hope you get something from this. Let me know in the comments below what you're looking forward to in 2023 from CIG and what you're hoping to see implemented. I think it's going to be a trying year, this one, with a lot of people hoping to see 4.0 sooner rather than later. I would personally hold back on that, as we may not see Pyro till 2024, if last year was anything to go off. But enjoy 3.18 when it comes live, as we may be playing that patch for quite some time. Again, thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe if you got something from this, and I'll catch you in the next one.